Welcome to Surplus Boys.
Welcome to Surplus Boys.
I'm Pat.
I'm Nick.
And today we're talking carbines.
Yeah, just kidding. We're not talking about carbines. We're only talking about one gun. Only one gun. And that is this little dandy.
This little boy of a rifle. Now, I know what you're saying. That's a number 4. And you'd be correct.
Yeah.
It's not a Lee Enfield, it's a number 4.
It's a number 4. It's not a Mark 1. Not a Mark 2.
This is a number 4 Mark 2, actually.
Yeah,
no, it's a number 4 Mark 1.
Not a Mark 2 Star, not a Star Star Star. It's a Mark Stubby.
Yeah, Mark Stubby. This, I don't want to say an impulse purchase because I did think about it for a while. Because this was sitting next to two other full-length rifles. But how could you not buy this?
Yeah.
It's
pretty cute.
The guy who did this, or whoever did this, needs to do more. This needs to be mass-produced. The British should have done this over the number 5, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that.
In my personal opinion.
If you put a... what do you call
it?
The flash hider, or whatever you call that. Well, we can't say flash hider or compensator. What the fuck that is?
No, it's a flash hider on that gun.
Flash hider.
Yep.
Well, New Jersey doesn't like that term.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Sorry.
Anyway, but yeah, put that flash hider. That'd look good. That'd be cute. That'd be pretty cute.
So,
all right, let's get the brass tacks. What the hell is this?
This is a number 4 Mark 1. From what I can tell, there was 3 manufacturers of number 4s during World War II. Well, 3 main manufacturers, and you have Maltby, Fizzackerly, and Enfield. And I think maybe BSA. Actually, I think Maltby was part of BSA. I could be wrong. This isn't a history about this gun. When we get a full-length Mark IV, you'll get the full history.
Yeah, we'll give you the full history.
I can tell you these were adopted in 1941. The British were looking to replace the SMLEs from World War I, and they wanted to have their sights mounted on the back of the receiver, kind of like an 03A3. They didn't want to have them mounted up here anymore. So that's the abridged version. And that started out as the number 4, and then there's all the other
iterations and
marks and stars.
Marks and stars, yeah. Ooh, if you want to know,
not me,
almost every single tiddly bit about
British
stars.
Muzzleloaders.
Yeah, British muzzleloaders.
Great guy to watch. Go watch him. He'll tell you everything. Hopefully he sees this video and just laughs.
Yeah. Looking for you, pal.
They chambered these in 7.62 towards the 50s before they adopted the FAL. So yeah, to my example of this, it's short.
It's very short.
Like, what's the other shortest?
Shortest guns are the Carcanos we have here, which are both 17.7 inches long in their barrel length. So to give you kind of an iteration,
we're butt to butt.
Really, butt to butt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the receiver goes back further. So.
Yeah.
All right. So the receivers are shorter. Duh. So because from here it's literally barrel, like almost barrel to barrel.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so that is 17.7. So that can kind of give you an idea of how short this is. Not going to tell you, but it is in the legal
It is legal. It is legal. I want the people in the comments to guess, and maybe one of these days I'll tell you.
Take a guess. It's adorably small. And it's adorably fireball when it comes to.
Oh God, it is.
When it comes to surplus rounds that go out of this thing.
Or 150 grain PPU.
Yeah, certain rounds are very boomy.
Like bigger fireball than that.
Yeah, if anybody has had a Mosin carbine, they know how boomy their fireballs are.
They're 100% fireballs.
So muzzle flash is ridiculous on those, but this. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You would think it's super short, so the recoil would be awful. It's actually not that bad.
Now you've shot, granted it was a while ago, but you've shot a jungle carbine.
Yes. It was in 308. It was a jungle carbine in 308.
I've shot a jungle carbine in 303, and they kick more.
Yeah, I would think so. 308 is definitely, I think, slightly more tamer. Screw guys who like 308. 30-6.
7.62 is cool.
It's cool.
Just 3006 is better.
It's cool, but 3006 is better.
303
is better.
M14 and 3006, they should have just done that.
I know.
Yeah. This is a very handy rifle in this length.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, handy. Quite handy. That was pretty good truck gun. Wait. What is it to you? What was it, Patrick?
What did I call it? Oh, this is my Fallout gun.
This is his Fallout gun. So this is the weird, like, silly thing
So-
you see in Fallout.
Side note, you probably figured that we were or at least he was a Fallout guy. Because in
I'm not
one of the videos you had a Vault Tech sweatshirt on. We love Fallout.
Yes.
Maybe borderline obsessed with it.
Yes.
The TV show is great.
It is. By the time this is edited, it'd be way after that. But
It is, but great TV show. This, to me, just screams something I would find in the wasteland. Side note about this gun. Great idea. Recommend doing this to an Enfield that you don't care about. Actually, I want to do this to an SMLE. I'm going to find a sporterized one that's already been cut up. That's already been, and I'm going to do the same thing. And just imagine having that sight here and your front sight here.
oh, that is
The sight radius.
that's a pipsqueak sight radius.
But make it still take the bayonet.
Oh yeah,
This can't take the
that
bayonet.
is that's
Yeah.
the one thing with this gun. It cannot take the bayonet. Whoever did all this, the number 4 bayonet does not fit on this barrel.
And the number 4 bayonet in general is twist, kind of like a Nagant bayonet anyway.
Yeah.
So,
So
but I would do this to an SMLE that is sporterized. I will not cut up a good SMLE to do this. This probably is why that's probably why this rifle probably got sporterized at one point, and the guy was just like, "Fuck it, I'm doing this."
probably, yeah. Our speculations on this. I mean,
There's not a lot because I bought it from a pawn shop.
yeah, he bought it from a pawn shop. The guy probably didn't know what the heck was going on with this thing, but somebody, I guess, because I mean, we'll bring it in for a closer look to kind of show you a couple of
The
things.
receiver looks like it's been sanded.
Yeah, that we see on here. There is a dovetail notch in the wood that's been plugged. So I'm not 100% sure if maybe somebody, I mean, I don't know if that's just normal on these guns. I don't know too much
I don't
about
know either.
Enfields. But
This almost
somebody
strikes me.
You could have put a sight back there. I don't know.
But this almost strikes me as it was the front handguard too, not the rear handguard, because the rear handguard on some of them have the grooves cut in the top.
Oh yeah, true.
So speculating, of course. I know not all the number 4s had the grooves cut in the top.
That would make, I guess that would kind of make sense. I'm not sure actually. 'Cause, I mean, if this is the rear handguard, because this sling swivel would be here.
Yeah, that's the regular mid. That would be the first.
And wait, is
barrel
it?
band.
I'm not too familiar. They're full length though. The top handguard's full length. It's not
No,
two
it's
piece.
two piece. It's
two
two piece
piece?
like
Okay.
a 1917 handguard. Or is 1917 handguard one piece?
No, I think that's one piece.
It's two piece like a Garand
The
handguard.
this Styron M95 is two piece.
Yeah, these were 2-piece handguards.
So
Okay. So the one thing about this rifle that does kind of suck is when you shoot it, this piece moves up to the front sight. And then all of this-
because this isn't.
That barrel band's all that's holding it on. It's doing its best job.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the clamping force isn't as good right there. I guess because.
So eventually, I'm going to wrap this how they would wrap the grenade launchers with the copper wire to make it not. And I figured that'd be a cool, like, appropriate way to do it, and it'll add more like Falloutness to it.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I mean,
Other than it being chopped, I mean,
it's a standard number 4.
standard number 4. You'd think somebody, if they sporterized a gun, they'd get rid of the sight, they'd change the stock a lot. They wouldn't trim it down to this much. They'd probably trim it down to 20 inches.
Yeah.
And then put like your stupid express style sights. You know how I feel about those. But no, that might have happened to this gun. But then some guy got it and he was like, I don't like this. I want it to be
Somewhat military.
like a number 4 again. So they chopped it down more for some reason. Don't know why. And they just put the stock as best they could to make it look like a normal number 4.
And like
short as hell.
It's a decent job. Like, it wasn't done bad.
Yeah, it's not done.
You know?
It's like what is that? I don't know which person found it or something like that. It was some guy bringing back artifacts for like a museum or something like that of World War I, and they found a extremely short 1917.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's kind of, this isn't that short. That's super short.
Yeah.
But this is pretty close.
Like I said, I think this is a Fazzackerly made one. It could be a Maltby, but it's one of those two factories. Another interesting fact is actually Savage made these at one point during the war for the British as part of Lend-Lease. And I think John Inglis in Canada and Long Branch. Long Branch, I think, is the Canadian. Long Branch is the Canadian-made one of these. Lithgow is the Australian ones.
Yeah.
I want a Long Branch one. I want a Canadian one. I think it'd be cool.
Because you like Canadian beer.
Yeah, Canadian beer's good.
You're a very Canadian beer man.
Where do I want to start? We'll start with some markings on this gun. Because, as much as it's, this little sporter ass thing, it does have markings still. So we'll flip this around here. So here's your number 4 Mark 1 markings. For the life of me, I have no idea what that says. And then there's your markings on the wrist of the stock. 1944. Again, I want to say this is a Maltby made gun, but I'm not 100% sure. But aside from that, standard Enfield, you know, cock on closing. We'll use that to get to an interesting tidbit about this gun, actually. So we'll take the bolt out of the gun. Enfields are a little weird. Pull the bolt back. You see that little button right there? Push the bolt forward. Push the button down. Rotate the bolt head up. The bolt will come out like that. So we'll put that down back on the table. And there's your bolt. These are marked with numbers. You can see right there. Those numbers are the size of the bolt head itself, because the bolt head actually controls the headspace of the rifle. Yeah, and there's your striker and everything. So I have an interesting little tidbit about this bolt, actually. This is a new strike. Well, not new. It's brand used. So let me grab the parts for that real quick. So this happened to my original striker. Now, looking at this, I believe it's casting, and I think I read somewhere they had problems with these, but the front of the sear surface broke off, so I had to replace it. Now, replace the striker on an Enfield, you pull out this screw, and then that thread is your firing pin. You would unscrew this, and you have to buy this tool. And this tool has two little, you could probably make this tool too, but this tool has two little notches on it, and that goes down into the firing and onto the firing pin and unscrews it. I'm not going to unscrew it. I did this on Thursday. It was a pain in the butt. So I'm not going to do it. But there's the bolt. Put the bolt back in the gun here for you. So put the bolt back in, push down on the button, rotate the bolt head forward, down, push forward, up. You're catching, there's a rail that this bolt rides in. Right here. You can barely see it, but there's a rail right there that the bolt head rides in. So continuing to go forward. The sight, yeah, it's a little crooked. You probably noticed it. Don't care. But yeah, this thing's awesome. I love it. Standard butt, still has the brass butt plate with the cleaning compartment, part for the cleaning kit in the back. Sling is an original sling. I think it's also dated 1944. Could be wrong. Don't remember, honestly. Another feature that we know on the Enfield, in the trigger guard, you have this little button here. Pull up on that. Pulls the mag out. And you can put the mag back in. So, that's the rifle. Now, here's two clips. Chargers. Now, we have an empty charger, and I will show you how to load said charger. There is a bunch of videos on the internet about this. Bloke on the Range, in my opinion, probably has the best one. So you can load these two ways. You can load them how you load an Gaunt stripper clip, which is just all the rims underneath each other so you don't get rim lock. Or you can load them how the British military loaded them. And actually, a side note on the cartridges for a second. This will make me a liar, probably, won't it? Yeah, it will. Never mind. On World War II era British ammunition, the ends of the rim is actually beveled, so you won't get rim lock. You can just push right through it. But beside the point, here's your charger. I always load it facing down. So the first round is going to go in, and the base of the cartridge is going to be all the way up against the clip. Charger. Next one goes in. That one slides over top of the rim, not on the bottom of the charger. Next one goes in. That one goes down, like so. Then the next one goes in. That one goes up. And then the last one goes down just like that. So you end up with these two bullets that are sitting up and the rest are sitting down. So now, take the rifle. These are dummy rounds. And you can load it like that. and that's all you got to do. So that is about it for the close-ups. There's not a lot on this rifle because, well, it's stubby. So now we're going to shoot it. Now I know this thing holds 10 rounds, but we're going to do 2 5-round stripper clips. This is Greek HXP. Good stuff. Stripper clips. Chargers. Not so good. Kind of got to do the Nagant thing with them. I haven't shot this yet today, so this will be fun. There is one slight problem with this gun. It does that. So the plan, I'm eventually going to wrap this like a grenade launcher of one and hope that stops it from coming apart. It probably won't, knowing my luck, but here we go. Here's another 5 rounds for you guys. And that's it. I love this thing. That Greek HXP ammo smells a little weird. Not gonna lie. Your M1 carbine might be handy, but this is full power rifle cartridges, and it's better. Alrighty.
All right, now we're back over there, I guess. Whatever.
Just kept it like this the whole time.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Turn on the bell icon,
Yeah, do that thing.
because you always forget that.
Well, you know, that's your job. All right? You
Actually,
say that part.
side note for a second here. To the guy who left the comments to the M48,
Oh,
we appreciate it.
yeah. Actually, no. Yeah, I messaged you. You know who you are, and
Yeah.
I did look, and it does have good sides information
Yeah.
on it. I didn't realize that was going to be there because
No.
you think you look up M48, you just get M48 info.
No.
But it kind of pushed a little bit toward like some nuances to the 2447.
We appreciate those links.
So thanks.
That's the stuff we look for.
But all right. So anyway, back to this. Conclusions.
Conclusions on this. The British Army should have just adopted this.
Yeah, they should have. Why didn't they?
I don't know.
This would have been a perfect paratrooper gun.
Or a tanker.
Yeah, or perfect tanker.
Like, this is the equivalent of a tanker Garand,
Yeah, pretty much.
you know? Except
Yeah.
tanker Garands is longer than this because, you know, you have the operating rod you got to deal with. But yeah, I mean,
It's
I love this thing. And, like, you know, we have 3 other carbines on the table here for a second. So let's not going to be a full comparison, but we can compare real quick.
Yeah. I mean, this is not factory.
No,
But
everything else here
The
is.
rest of these are from the factory. These came like this. So
You know, and, like, honestly, this is the shortest of them all, and I think the M44 is the longest of them all.
Yes, it is. This is 19 inches, I think.
It's handy. All these rifles on the table are handy. Actually, hand me the M44 for a
Yeah,
second.
they are quite handy.
I'm gonna take your thunder for a second here.
Listen.
Smoothest Mosin bolt until you fire 5 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Once we do a full video, we will.
Damn it! Once the 5
Just leave it on the ground.
once the 5 rounds have been fired through this,
It's garbage.
it ain't smooth anymore.
Yeah.
No, this is actually a nice rifle. This is a 1944 dated M44. There will be a full-length video on this at some point. There is a short on that gun.
This is also in technicality, my first gun.
Yeah, mine was the Model 19. I guess technically it's the Savage shotgun I own, but
Yeah.
first actual
I'm talking
purchase.
actual purchase.
Yeah.
That's different than
My
actual gun.
1917.
Yeah, that was like, Dad's like, here you go at like 13. I was like, oh, it was like a Christmas story.
Yeah,
Input Christmas story.
but like here, I know I'm gonna hold it like this actually for a second, but yeah, we have 2 other carbines on the table. They're Carcanos. I like Carcanos. I would take this over the Carcano. Just and like that's hard because I like the TS.
Oh yeah, that's just due to the new one. Well, first of all, I got 10 rounds.
Yeah, 10 rounds
Got
of
10
303 British.
Of 303. 303, I think in a technicality, even though 303 is rimmed, it is accuracy-wise, I think is more reliable than a Carcano.
Unless it's not out of a Lee Enfield, because
That's just because,
remember these rifles had stocking up issues in the beginning?
Yeah, true. But
especially the jungle carbines, apparently they have a Wandering Zero, which I think Forgotten Weapons has a video on that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have a Wandering Zero.
Deja vu. That was weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not more or less for, I guess, the reliability in that standpoint is that I know that this round, the bullet that's in here is going to fit the bore correctly.
That's true.
That's the one main thing. With Carcanos
it's
are
iffy.
picky because most stuff you can find is going to be a little bit smaller than it needs to be.
What was the company I was telling you about?
It's not Bannerman.
No, it's another surplus cartridge company.
There's another, there's some guys that are making 6.5 and some other weird ones.
Side note, he watches readiness reviews quite a bit. I don't watch him as much.
I don't know your name, but what's up if you watch this?
He did a video on Bannerman ammunition, which is, well, the name's supposed to pay homage to Bannerman surplus and stuff like that. That's a different story, but cool. Look it up though. It's cool. And the ammo they're making is, I think, mostly based off PPU brass, and they're making it in the States. So they're making like all the Japanese calibers. They're making the weird, what's the Carcano caliber that's not really available?
Oh, that's 735?
Yeah, they're making that. But there's another company, which the name eludes me off the top of my head, that's making the same thing.
Insert name.
And they're making, what, 3 different bullet sizes for Carcano?
Yeah, they're making all the different. So the normal,
which is cool.
268, which you're supposed to have, the 264, which is the most common because that's the most common 6.5 we know of.
Damn it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're making mostly Italian cartridges.
Both of these companies are mostly making Italian and Japanese cartridges because you can buy 303 from PPU. You can buy it.
Yeah, Bannerman's. Well, they're making 303 Savage though.
That's a weird round. Yeah.
So that would. All right, wait. Very small side note. 5 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. An actual Savage, Model 99 in 303 Savage, cool as hell. Back to normal.
What's the difference between 303 Savage and 3?
I have no clue.
Getting into that.
Nope. I have no clue.
That's a different video. But like, side note, real quick on these cartridge companies, it's cool to see these companies that are making surplus ammunition for surplus firearms. Like, it's not just American Eagle. It's not American Eagle. Federal. Actually, it is American Eagle. Federal, Remington, Winchester, PPU, S&B. You know, we have these kind of niche companies. Stenell makes weird ammunition.
Yeah.
You're going to pay more for it. Let's face it, ammo is expensive anyway right now. Doesn't matter where you live, it's expensive. Mm-hmm. But it's nice to see these companies kind of falling into a niche of making ammo that hasn't been made for, in the case of like the Japanese stuff, it hasn't been made for 70 years.
Well, I think also just for the fact a lot of rifles are coming in.
Exactly, like Carcanos are coming in.
When Mosin's came in,
you get a lot
of ammo came in at the same time.
Yeah, you get a spam can for $100 when those are coming in.
All these Carcanos of the past 2 years, I think, from 2022, I don't know when they started coming in.
PPUs had to have ramped up their production of 6.5.
No, not really any surplus ammo came in for these guns at all.
It was all factory options.
It was just the guns. That was it. The Italians or whoever had the ammo stocks didn't give us the ammo stocks when they sold us the guns. So,
and like there's some 303 British that comes in, there's some 3006 that comes in from other countries.
Very scant though, not like
not like 7.62 by 54R.
Yeah. Does England even sell us any more of these things?
Like, I don't think they have anymore, honestly. If they do, they're for drill.
Yeah, it's all for all from other countries.
Yeah, because they got farmed out everywhere. India being one of the main countries that use these the longest, even converting their SMLEs to 7.62. Yeah. And some SMLEs got converted to 410. I want one of those.
That'd be kind of cute.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But no, it's cool to see these ammunition companies making this niche ammunition, I would say. I'm sure we're probably going to see them make calibers that we still can't get. Like I said, it's nice to see the Japanese calibers, the Carcano calibers. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them starts making what's the French caliber?
What, 7? It's
for the Moss 36. Yeah, like that. You can buy that, but it's expensive. And it's not. It's ridiculous. And you're not going to go walk into your local gun shop or even a gun shop that sells surplus firearms and be like, I need this. He's not going to have it.
Yeah, most people won't have that.
Now what'll be cool is if one of these companies start making like 8mm Nambu for the handguns.
Yeah, that's one thing. They do make rifle. There's companies making rifle cartridges.
It'd be cool to see them make pistol cartridges.
Not many pistol cartridges. even though for the reloading aspect, some of those cartridges back then, they're not too hard to convert from pre-existing cartridges.
Well, yeah. Well, like, what is it? Is it the Steyr Hahn? Is that the one that
What, the 1912 Steyr?
Yeah,
Hahn?
yeah.
It's 9mm Steyr.
Yeah, you can't buy that anywhere.
No, yeah, you can't buy that anywhere.
No, but it's not hard to make.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't make it, so I don't know. So, to some guy who does know how to make it, I want to know. Anyway, it's a type of 9mm. You could probably use 9mm cases.
Yeah,
I know.
There's how many different kinds of 9mm are there? There's 9mm Parabellum. There's 9mm Largo. There's 9x19. 9mm. There's so many.
9mm long. Yeah, 9mm Browning and all those other things.
So many of them.
So same thing. Other one, the 8mm Italian Ordnance cartridge. That's literally it's 10.4mm. My bad. That's literally, you take 44 special, you trim it down. Then you have that gun. Then you can shoot those. You can shoot those bodegas.
But it would be nice to see these companies make pistol ammo at some point. Like, I get it. They got to get their feet wet with rifle ammo and see how that sells.
Yeah, true.
And I'm sure there's
it's
a
still
certain
business. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a certain level of, like, we're going to make this niche ammunition on a large scale, but it's still, we're making this niche ammunition on a large scale, so it's going to be expensive, unfortunately.
I mean, the world of surplus has definitely changed in the past 5 years.
I would say in the last 10 years.
5-10 years. It's gotten...
Nagants have gone up to a $500, $600 rifle now.
Well, that just makes sense on supply, but I'm saying, like, in general, like the...
10 years ago, I don't think you would see companies wasting any time in making these cartridges.
Yeah, not making it, because, like, just the, what's it, not the demand, but, like, the
supply.
The amount of people that are digging more into surplus nowadays is much larger than it used to be.
And also, like...
So that's probably why these companies are trying. They're like, you know what, might as well. Cause
and what I've noticed recently, too, is, like, I go to a gun show, I know that we were talking about this rifle.
We're not even talking about the gun, we're just talking about ammo now.
This is what Surplus Boys is about, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
You go to a gun show now, you go to a gun shop that actually sells surplus or whatever, but what's something you see on the shelves that you didn't see a lot of back, 10 years ago? Arisakas, more Carcanos obviously coming into the country.
Ridiculous now. I mean, you get a lot of Chinese SKSs now, but
they're expensive now.
They're expensive for Chinese SKS.
Yeah, was it Type 56?
I don't know. Don't even remind me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Type something.
Yugoslavian SKSs used to be cheap. Now they're sub $1,000.
Yeah. Around $800 range.
So the world of surplus has changed a lot in price, but
that also depends.
But that's also how the
that's
not to get political, but that's how this economy's going.
Yeah. Well, everything has gone up, but the thing is, though, things are still cheap. That gun was expensive. That Carcano over there, if you go on any surplus site, whatever, you're going to find one of those. They're going to be on there. They're going to be ridiculously cheap because there's so many of them.
This was $450.
Yeah, that was $450.
Yeah.
That gun, that was like $300 because I got it from like a specific place and I wanted it to be like a World War One, pre-World War One.
Yeah, that was
in good condition.
That was $450. The full length one that I was looking at was like $600.
Yeah, so it's still not
As I say in surplus videos and all of these videos, there is still deals to be had. There are still good firearms for cheap. Just unfortunately, cheap isn't, the $100 Nagant anymore.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at the $200 Carcano,
yeah, it's or $150 to $200 Carcano.
Or as we know he does, if you go to Royal Tiger, you can get a SMLE for $500.
Yeah.
But you're taking that chance.
It's going to be rough. So.
Exactly. And it's like...
And that's the broken record.
Well, I like the thrill of going to a gun show and buying a gun.
Yeah, gun shows it's just sensory overload.
It is.
Every time I walk into one, I'm like, there's so many guns. Oh, my God.
Exactly. And it's not even just what you're going there to buy. It's the experience.
Yeah.
It's the stuff you find. When I bought my M1, I almost bought a Nissa 4 rifle in 7.62, and I almost bought a Krag.
Yeah.
If I went to CMP, I would have walked out.
That's also the thing, too, the choices.
Exactly.
Like,
I go to CMP.
I always bring a little piece of paper. I list down what the things I saw. I'm like, I need to go back to this.
Yeah,
then you got to choose. You're like, oh, crap. I got to choose one of these things. And then you go, like, running back and try to find them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes
it's gone, sometimes it's not.
You go to CMP, and it's like, okay, I buy an M1 Garand or I buy an 03 Springfield or an M1 Carbine if you can own one.
New Jersey.
Every once in a while they get 1917s, not much. But the thrill of a gun show, it's great. I love it. I also just love being able to, go to a table, pick up a gun that I can't afford, like an original 97 Winchester, and just get to...
Yeah, you got to hold it for a second.
You get to fondle it. You get to be like,
you know.
This is what I want, but I can't afford it.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, like, you know. Yeah, when you, especially a gun that old. Like, all right, another side tangent. I guess that's all this video is going to be. I was holding, I think that one yesterday when I was getting the guns together so we could film here because this is at a different location than where I live. But when I was holding that, I was really looking at it. I'm like, this is from 1912.
Yeah, think about that.
112 years old. That thing is.
All of the guns on this table
They're old.
are. This is 1944. That's 1944. That's as old as my 1917.
Yeah, this is 1917. That's 19. These are.
Yeah.
These saw a lot. I mean, maybe they saw most of their life in a crate sitting in a box, but there's the history behind that. It's like they understood how to back then, 110 years ago or so, even more than that, because that gun was designed way before that.
And even with modern technology, they're still making them the same way.
Yeah, it's still.
It's not as hands-on, but they're still making them the same way.
That is,
you know,
if you like history and if you don't like guns, which I'm pretty sure no not gun person is gonna click on these videos anyway. But if you do, welcome. Second of all, but any not gun person that likes history a lot, one of the best ways to be able to feel and touch and understand history, like a time period of something, of like a country in some time period, is to acquire or at least hold or like get somebody to tell you about that gun. Because you're literally holding something that's from, you know, the Vetterlies I have.
Yeah.
80s, 1890s.
Exactly.
That's a long time ago.
You are almost.
So you got to experience that country from that time. It's
you even
nuts.
think about the Garands for a second. Every Garand, unless it's post Korea or tail end of World War II, saw some kind of service.
Yeah, exactly.
Either in combat, in training, in drill, whatever. That rifle saw some kind of service.
Yeah.
Especially if you're buying a mid-war dated M1 Garand, there is a very large chance that weapon went overseas. You know.
Yeah.
And you get to
these things travel too.
Exactly. And you get stuff like that M44, for example, technically made in a country that doesn't exist anymore. Russia does still exist, but the Soviet Union doesn't.
So the people that, you know, the politics that were behind this when this was being made and designed and whatever, that's gone.
Yeah. Italy still exists, obviously. You know,
that was the Empire of Italy when that was made, so.
And even like the 1891 Carcano you have is 1934 or whatever.
Yeah, that
fascism.
Yeah, that's the Mussolini boy.
Exactly. Yeah. That think of the history of 1934. You know, you think about 1934. At that time, Benito Mussolini was dictator of Italy. Hitler came to power in 1933. So just that time period, that 1930s, we were in an economic depression.
Yeah.
You know? So
all the things going on while some guy's in a factory, it's still making these.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. Like all that stuff that was going on at that time.
I mean, think about the history of this rifle. 1944. Yeah. Maybe it went overseas.
Maybe I can fondle this.
Yeah, maybe it went overseas. Maybe it didn't. But think about it. Probably got used after the war for training. Somebody bought it when it got surplused in the 60s or 70s, cut it down, and somehow that rifle made it over here. Think about that. Somehow that rifle made it from England or wherever it was from to the U.S.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense with most European countries. They're like, wow, we have this stockpile of things we'll never use again.
The U.S. will buy it.
How are those rednecks and hillbillies who live in America doing? They're just going to buy this anyway. Might as well make some money off of them, right?
Exactly.
So, I'm pretty sure that every other country that's not the United States, that's what they think when they sell guns to us.
Probably not wrong. Except Ethiopia, they're like, oh, they came to us.
Yeah. The ordinance came to us and asked for. I mean, I don't know the history behind that, but
no, but they're like, oh crap.
They're like, oh, we could sell you guns. We can make money off of you. Cool.
But yeah, now that the outro of this video has turned into being longer than the intro.
Yeah, this is ridiculously long. Sorry.
But this is what the original concept of Surplus Boys was.
Yeah,
to sit there
literally
and talk.
Ramblings. You're getting the full gist, really. This is ramblings.
This is the most I think we've done in any video.
Yeah, of actual rambling on and keep going completely off topic.
Uh-huh.
And that is the end of this video, because we're not going to go any further.
Nope.
Because we've gone too far. So, we've already said that.
I'll remind you to turn the notifications on again.
Yes, notifications.
Because I feel like that gets forgotten.
I think the one guy, I know who your name is. I'm not going to tell it, though. I'm pretty sure you got notifications on. Yep. Thanks, bud. Yep. So, with that, we will bid you adieu. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.